Welcome everybody to the first episode of Fuzz Tales, where a bunch of close-knit furry friends essentially ruin my life as their DM, playing Dungeons and Dragons. I've got a spectacular cast joining me today. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves? Don't all jump up at once. Playing Zachariah, we have
Hexic.
Cool.
Were you expecting more than that?
Short and sweet. I like it.
Just a tad.
I'm like hexagons.
You like hexagons? Perfect.
Yeah.
That's an admirable trait to have.
Much enjoy the number 6 and hexagons. Other things about myself include liking hexagons and geometry in general. So quite a wide range of things. I don't know if that was too much information there.
No, it's perfect.
Good.
Playing Bree, we have.
Hi, I'm 10 Cents. I'm a boat fox. I like things to do with like boats and trains and mechanical things. Yeah, that's kind of it.
Nice. Playing Sakura, we have.
Hello, I am Dizzy, and my interests range from railways, model making, 3D modelling, and airsoft as well.
Cool. And last, and definitely least, we have playing Osiris.
I am Kaiser. I am a red hyena. I spend most of my day either sat on my ass, sleeping, or just generally lounging around.
No worries. So, if people are watching for the first time, this is our first campaign. Our seasons last roughly, 16 to 18 episodes. Each episode is roughly around 2 hours, 2 and a bit hours long. It's very digestible. It's a lot of fun, and we don't take ourselves too seriously, so I hope you have a great time. So, this episode is actually sponsored by YCH Fursuits. They are makers of handcrafted fursuits. Go get yours now. Fantastic. What is the website? What is the contacts? How do we get a hold of them, guys?
It's just at YCH Suits on Twitter.
Well, you heard it there. Super easy to find. Would recommend checking out the videos and the imagery of their stuff. Top quality. Mwah, perfect. Go get yours now. Alright. So, without further ado, roll the title card. Gliding peacefully across the cosmos. For eons, an ancient artifact from a distant origin travels undisturbed and dormant. Until it would so happen that fate or chance allowed an unsuspecting and flourishing world to float across its path. Evaris is a diverse and beautiful world home to a manor of inhabitants, creatures, and beasts. The most prosperous of the beings who call Evaris home are known as prides, Each pride typically inhabits a specific biome or region in the world, and they are as follows. Firstly, we have the rabbit folk. Smaller beings standing roughly 4 foot tall, if you include the ears, of course. Short fur covering their bodies. They are both wise scholars and resourceful hunters. Rabbit folk are well liked and popular within social function, often rising to diplomatic or political purpose. Next, we have the kitsune. They are fox-like, agile beings, slim in stature, standing up to 6 foot tall. They usually have brightly coloured fur and a range of, assorted patterns. Kitsune are all born with magic in their blood, some more than others, with legends speaking of powerful, 9-tailed kitsune that are seen as demigods, to those who believe in them, of course. We do have the Orokian, more commonly referred to as cowfolk. They were once believed to be the descendants of warfaring minotaurs, or so they say. Minotaurs sundered the world and fractured societies back in the day. Today, however, after centuries of interbreeding and saturation of the once strong Minotaur bloodline, we have the common cowfolk, more bovine than anything else. Most are content with living on farmlands and tending to the earth. Gnolls, widely known as raiders and slavers. In the middle of the night, they venture off in hordes of raiding parties to pillage and plunder nearby towns and cities. Living mostly in gnoll tribes under one alpha, and outcast by the wider world, they reside in solitude in the more barren regions of the world. We have the tabaxi and the tigrin, hailing from a distant and humid land. These cat-like beings, driven by curiosity and interesting tales, lay their eyes on adventure and worlds of many wonders. Tabaxi are wanderers and rarely stay in one place for longer than they need to be. The tigrin, however, are fearsome, muscular, adaptive breeds of the tabaxi, more lion and tiger than cat, and are the defenders of the regions in which the tabaxi call their home. We have the Aarakocra, nesting in the relative safety of the highest mountain peaks. These eagle-like beings build their great cities in the cloudlines, often referred to as eaglekin. They evoke both fear, majesty, and wonder. The Aarakocra have many sub-races, and as a result, specialities that derive from the many types of bird species that inhabit this world, giving them unrivaled adaptability and survivability to almost any region across the land. Lastly, the Omakir. The Omakir are majestic deerfolk who pride themselves on the grandeur of their presentation. Great antlers protrude their crown, adorned in jewelry and wealth that frame their figure, acting as a status symbol and a position of status. The Omakir refer to this aura that they give off as their shine, and to emit a great shine is the life goal of many proud Omakir. Natural shapeshifters, they can appear in both traditional deer form as well as their more humanoid physique. However, we join this story in the town of Brazen Hill, on the border of the Azure Forest, joining the expanse that is the Benias Flatlands. The Flatlands are home to an expansive network of roaming hills, luscious meadows as far as the eye can see. Herbivorous cattle and tamed farm animals live an unhindered life as the lands are cultivated and sown by numerous Orokian or cowfolk for the benefit of the surrounding towns and cities. The Azure Forest is a network of thick green foliage that covers a massive eastward-facing region of Evaris. It stretches as far as the eastern coastline. Many parts of this forest are so dense and thick that at parts it blots out the very sunlight, leaving only a dim forest floor in which light-sensitive creatures of all shapes and sizes can call their home. Vast, Omakir and Deerfolk call these enchanted forest lands their home, with many seaward-facing settlements and trading posts covering the eastern region. Welcome, guys, to Fuzz Tales.
What an introduction.
Way.
Hope everyone enjoyed that, and that sets the
Yeah.
scene and the tonality for where you guys currently are.
So I've got a forest.
We're in a forest.
We're in a
We're
forest.
in a forest.
So
We're in a
where's
forest.
this tavern, and where are we meeting?
You start in a tavern. No, don't start your D&D campaigns in a tavern. It's boring and doesn't let anything fun happen.
Well, you obviously frequent the wrong taverns.
I do frequent the wrong taverns. So, panning out from this town, we see a farmstead. Luscious corn fields, various orchards lining the perimeter, wooden picket fences acting as a barrier to stop smaller and larger animals from disturbing the crops. But it doesn't stop two inquisitive kitsune who have ventured this way in search of adventure. One of these kitsune, Osiris. Would you like to describe your character, please? You are currently muted.
Off to a great start.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that's me in a nutshell. I'm glad you enjoyed the enjoyed the description of that.
Yeah,
Any
the,
questions?
the viewers are now enthralled and have 100% clicked off this video and are now no longer interested in the show.
Right.
Osiris, would you please describe your character?
So I am quite a majestic kitsune. It has bright white fur with intricate red markings around the face, the arms, going down to the lower body. Quite a slim figure. Quite a bit of a cheeky boy, I would say.
Cheeky boy.
Very
Alright.
cheeky, very cheeky. And he's just always on the hunt for just bigger and better things.
It's funny you should mention that because Osiris is currently helping himself to as many fruit and vegetables and corn that he can lay his hands on in this field. You don't know whose field this is, you don't know whose farmland this is, but Osiris is just helping himself. And in the background...
I don't want you giving away what I'm doing, you know. I don't want people to know.
And in
Yeah,
the
the police are going
background...
to come after you and arrest you.
Arrest you. Going to be arrested. No. In the background, arms folded, with a discerning, disapproving look, Sakura. Describe your character for me, please.
Sakura.
Sakura! Ugh, Sakura!
Sakura.
It's
is-
Sakura! Canon, it's Sakura.
Is a much shorter, younger kitsune. Very slight and dainty in appearance. She stands arms folded with deep copper reds and browns in her fur, with white tips just touching the edges. She only stands at 4'8", very light in weight, but she has something that most people would desire upon her, and that is a magical being. She stands with a disappointed look, staring at Osiris.
So can we hash this out before we go any further? Are we going kitsune or kitsune? We need to hash this out now because this is going to set the precedence for the entire
Yeah,
campaign.
it is,
It's
isn't
going to
it? See-
annoy me
No,
if
no,
you
no.
carry
See,
on
I always
calling
thought it was
kitsune.
kitsune.
think
I
we
thought
should
it was
keep on spot.
kitsune.
In the chat, is it kitsune or kitsune? Vote now.
I'm pretty sure it's Kitsune.
Alright.
I've always
sure
called
you
it
wasn't it.
Kitsune. I just didn't want to make you feel bad.
No. I am open to having this be altered right now, so we don't annoy anyone else. So okay. We'll get it. Kitsune.
I
Let's do it.
can
do it.
feel any viewers will just be yelling at the screen. It's Kitsune.
And then the other half is going, no, it's not. It's Kitsune. It's Kitsune.
It's Kitsune.
God.
So I will officially apologize if I got it wrong, and I will give myself disadvantage on my next roll as DM for screwing that up. So I apologize.
Can we call it like Kaitasun or something?
Kitsune.
Kaitusune.
Kitsune.
Let them fight.
Also, one thing
Call it like
that
a magical fox.
Yeah, Magic Fox.
Magic Fox.
Magic fox be
No,
magic.
I like Kitsune. It sounds cool. It's very Japanese. I like it.
we also neglected both of them neglected to state how many tails they had.
They have one tail.
Yes.
have one tail.
Our Kitsune only have one tail.
Oh,
They all only
You're not
have one
You're
tail.
not multi-tailed.
In this world, they all have one tail, unless you're technically a demigod. Also, they believe.
then you just.
I'm
straight
working up to that.
You're working up to it. Okay, cool. What you're gonna do is this is canon now. Your character is going to murder any other kitsune that you see and forcibly attach their tails to yours to give yourself godhood.
Or
I mean, with Heather in the last campaign, it was teeth. So it's only appropriate that I grab some sort of body part.
or if they only visited our sponsor, YCHC. They
You-
could. They could
Yeah, their own
have
tail.
apes built for their own.
So
it
Zachariah
now?
is the largest corporate shill I've ever seen. So anyway, guys, we got an episode to run. So Sakura, you look at Osiris pillaging his way through this cornfield. What do you do?
Sakura, in a slight Sakura, sorry, in slight anger, slight disgust at what Osiris is doing, she marches at pace up to him and folds her arms and points, gesticulating. Osiris, what do you think you're doing? This is someone's land. They have spent years growing this crop. How dare you just come along and pick it free willy? I'm very disappointed in you.
Yeah. What of it? You know? It's free food. It's there for the picking, so why not?
It's not free food. This is someone's land. We are currently trespassing, and they think we should get off this as quickly as we can.
Alright then, whatever you say. And hopefully as Sakura turns around, I'm just gonna pick off a few more bits of corn, hoping that she doesn't notice.
Sure. As you turn around, you look at the farmstead that you're currently kind of just going absolutely ham on, and you do see that there is smoke coming from the nearby chimney. It's like a nice thatched roof. The white picket fence is been recently painted, and you can still kind of like smell like the fresh paint that's coming from it. It's a very tidy homestead. It's not a big farm, and it looks like whoever's created this little like allotment, this is pretty much all they have. So yeah, it's
Not to guilt trip you or anything.
not to guilt trip you or anything.
Huge farm! Ah.
Yeah,
No.
you do realise this is only like a 10 by 10 plot.
Yeah.
You're just
Support local business, guys. Don't go for like the Walmart and the chains. Support local business, guys. This is a political campaign.
I'm supporting local businesses. I'm not paying them, but I'm still supporting them.
Giving them exposure.
yeah, exactly. You're like an influencer.
Yeah.
As you're shoveling fruit and veg, just taking whatever you can and like shoving it in your little like backpack / haversack or whatever it is you're carrying on your persons to carry your goods, you hear a gate slam behind you, and over the top, because you're not as tall as some of the the shoots that are coming out of the ground, and you can see probably about 30 foot in the distance a pitchfork steamrolling towards your general location, in this like hurried shouting coming from the back, going like just coming straight at you. What do you want to do?
I kind of just want to turn and dash away.
Yeah.
Okay.
I give Osiris the look, and we grab each other's hands and just bang out of there.
Okay, so you guys start absolutely like hightailing it out of the field with no stealth or anything. You just knock stuff over. You hit a few plant pots on your way out, crashing to the floor. I'm gonna say both of you make dexterity checks for me to see how nimble you can be navigating your way through this allotment.
Would that be on acrobatic?
Was this a dexterity? Just general dex roll. Just
Okay.
general nimbleness.
22. 21.
22.
Sorry.
Or
22. 11. Cool. So as you guys are both legging it out of this allotment, you're like, you've seen that like the ground has been freshly sowed and it's quite uneven. And Zachariah, you're not Zachariah. Gosh, Sakura, you are perfectly sort of weightless, like tiptoeing over like the rough ground, and you just hear a thud come from behind you as Osiris just face plants into the floor and almost eats like half a mound of dirt in his mouth, and just comes like a grinding halt about 10 foot behind you. And this person who's you still can't see yet is now bearing down on their position only 10 foot away. What do you want to do?
I would like to cast darkness.
Okay, sure. For the sake of the viewers, just describe what this spell does and how it looks, please.
So darkness, or magical darkness, spreads from a point within that you can specify. So it can be an item that you're holding or an item in the distance, and it spreads for a 15-foot radius sphere, and it just cannot be penetrated, so you can't get any light within it, you can't see what's inside it.
Sure.
So
what's the radius on that, did you say?
15 foot.
15-foot sphere, yeah?
Yeah, 15 foot.
Cool.
Yeah,
And you cast it on your friend, like on his point of origin or somewhere else?
Yeah, on him, so he becomes effectively invisible for a time.
Sure.
I like
Osiris, Osiris, this is considered magical darkness, isn't it? So, Osiris, it doesn't matter whether you have dark vision or not, you are effectively blind at this point, just so you know.
Oh, no, sorry. I wanted to cast it on the dude running.
Okay, sure. So, like, I would say...
on his pitchfork.
Yeah. Okay.
On his pitchfork in particular.
Okay. Yeah, alright, fair enough. Cool. So you raise your hand up and you mutter the incantation, and as you watch as this streak of light comes out of your hand and almost black holes into existence above this farmer's pitchfork, and it engulfs like the immediate vicinity in just pure darkness, giving you a brief moment of respite. That you just hear muffled screams and like just general confusion coming from that general direction, and you right Osiris to his feet and help him up, and now you guys are you continuing to run?
Yes.
Yeah, I want to go as fast as I can. Let's
No
go.
worries. Cool, so you guys tear out of this allotment, you jump over the outside fence with no issues whatsoever, and as you're running and you hear like the commotion behind you, there is a bright flash of light in the sky, and it almost catches you completely off guard. You kind of look up at almost like 1 o'clock in the sky, and there is this sonic boom that echoes no more than, whoa, it must be a couple miles away, and you watch as this streak of bright light goes soaring over your head, right over like your immediate skyline, and disappears over a tree line towards the eastern side of where you kind of are. And while that happens, back in time, we join our other two players. No more than 5 minutes prior, a similar looking household, thatched roof, larger than the farmland that we just experienced. There is a small river running alongside the property. It has been, over time, carved and reinforced with a stone wall to direct the river into the flow of a large wooden wheel that is alongside this property, and it turns with the gentle flow of the water. It appears to be connected to a mill that flour would be ground and crops would be used and turned into various baked goods. There is a small sign on the outside of this building. Bree, what is the name of this property?
This is the Blues traditional pastry shop.
I love it.
Yeah, this is where Bree's family produce traditional pasties that are well known throughout the land.
Yes, you are the purveyor of all baked pasty goods with the town that you currently reside.
Indeed.
So, Bree, this is your family home. Would you like to describe your character for me as you see them through a small window, sat on a table, preparing a soup? Please describe your character for me, please.
Bree is a cowfolk. They have white.
What is the correct term of cowfolk? I want to see if you can pronounce it. Just for fun.
Is it Orachain? Or is that right?
Orcayan. Orcayan. Very close. Very close. Yeah, it's Orcayan, but most people in this world of Evaris do actually refer to them as cowfolk because they are gentle beings, they are peaceful beings. They claim they were descended from minotaurs at one point, but it's more of hearsay. But the Orcayan, yes, cowfolk. So, sorry to interrupt you. Please continue.
No, that's fine. So Bree's a cowfolk with white hair that covers her eyes. Sorry, his eyes. And they are blue with like little spots on them, and they're quite feminine in shape. And they've always felt that they don't really belong on their family's in their family's pasties bakery. And really, they want to go and see the world and join a band with their melodica. But obviously, most bands don't want someone who can play the melodica, so they've never had the chance to leave. But yes, so Bree's family make pasties that are well known worldwide, and that's kind of what he helps out doing, really. And
Sure.
he has a West Country accent.
Lovely. The smell of fresh vegetable soup fills the immediate vicinity, wafting out of the nearby ajar open window that look out upon the Benias flatlands and the meadows that surround this property. You hear a bit of a commotion coming from no more than maybe 2 properties across, some muffled screaming and the sound of a thud and some kind of sound all of branches breaking. It's a bit of a commotion, and you kind of stand up from your table and you look out of the window, and immediately, no more than 15 foot down the road, you see one of your long-term friends, a majestic looking Omakir, heading in your direction. Zachariah, would you like to describe your character for me, please, as he heads towards this Bree homestead?
Yep, so walking down the path, there's a somewhat of a sight while the Omakira are probably quite present whenever they turn up somewhere, given their large antlers and their adornments and everything like that. Zachariah is quite present for a different reason. There, in fact, isn't any horns to be seen. Just some stumps where the horns would be. And the fur is bleached, or is white to some extent. they're wearing somewhat of a gown, but you definitely see underneath it some leather armor, sort of like some adventurer's armor underneath, which kind of juxtaposes with the rest of the garments, that being more clerical in nature. And the other noticeable factor is that on the face of this deer, which they're usually quite plain, or at least the interest comes from the various trinkets that they place upon it. There are no trinkets here. Instead, there is just pink flashes in the fur that almost appear to drip from the horns all the way down past their eyes and around their muzzle. It's also quite different to how Bree remembers Zachariah to be. And just because to keep up tradition, I have done a little doodle from my previous to help everyone here to see what I imagine my character to be like. So
Okay, so for context here, Zachariah's player likes to do doodles in between our sessions, and he posts them in our private chat. So I may flash this up very quickly on screen so you guys can all see it. So okay, so just for clarity's sake, how long has it been since Zachariah has seen Bree?
So we'd usually meet up with each other relatively regularly. We grew up in the same town, and were sort of childhood friends. And Zachariah then moved away to a monastery to sort of pursue the more spiritual path. But that wasn't just disappear and, friends be forgotten. The monastery was quite close. They sort of allowed still regular contact, and they still sort of, weekly, monthly, whenever is possible, they'd still meet up here and there. But that hasn't happened in the past 6 months or so. So there's been a definite length of time between the last meeting, which is unusually long, that we would have met each other.
Sure. So as you approach the property, there's a bit of nervousness about your demeanor, and you knock on the door, and Bree has seen you coming at this point, and Bree opens the door ajar. Not like typically when you've seen a friend, you swing the door open and you embrace them with a hug, but there's a sense of caution with the way that Bree opens the door to greet you because of the change in your physical appearance.
Yeah.
What would you guys like to do at this point? Who would like to say something first to break the awkward silence that is sweeping amongst this interaction?
Probably sort of let it linger for a bit, because I just sort of understand what's being...
And you just a little bit emo. You're just emo. So
yeah, I'm just sort of standing there like, yeah, no. And then once I feel like it's the initial process gone through, in my most upbeat tone as possible. So I go like, Bree, it's been a long time, I guess.
Zachariah, is that you?
Yeah, same me. Nothing's changed. I guess.
What's happened to you? You changed.
Well, yes. I guess. Yeah, some stuff happened at the monastery, and kind of, changed a bit, I guess.
You weren't sick. I've been for you for months. I've been here eating pasties for 6 months. I haven't done nothing.
Look,
Nothing.
you think it's been fun for me? Like, it's been...
that fucking accent is the best.
Look, we're having a serious moment here.
I know, but
Excuse me.
it's the
I know nothing.
Okay, I would have
greatest.
hoped that they told you something. But it's not been all fun and games. Look what's happened to me.
I can see with my eyes. I can see.
Yeah, there's
What happened?
that's more than can be said for me. And he sort of points towards like what is clearly like these sort of blanked out eyes. he's just sort of pointing towards them.
Oh no, no, you're not blind, are you?
I mean, definitely have your way with words. That hasn't changed. I can see. Look,
We always knew it was a bit blunt.
yeah, I able to know that. Trying to, people lose respect for you when you have these sort of things.
It's fine. It's
I'm not
fine.
worried,
Don't worry
I'm not
about it.
worried about you. I'm worried about everyone else. What will people think when they're leaders or they're spiritual leaders? You can't lead if you're blind. I mean, that's not to say, look, thankfully, and I don't know where it's come from, but I have got some vision or sense. I think as much as I feel like I've lost something in my connection, I seem to be able to sense still. So at least I've got something going on there, but can't.
Good. You got your sensories. You got your initials. You got your what you
It's
need.
not the same. It's not like I never took for granted before being able to see the open plains and the forest and the sun that's going through the trees and the branches, the little birds and all that nature had to offer. Now, it's just different. I can't see the details. It's I've lost something, Bree.
Zachariah.
I need help with that.
I'll
I
help
need to
you,
find
right?
myself.
I'll help you.
Oh.
But here's the thing. I don't know no fancy talk. All I know is pasties and melodica, alright?
Yeah.
I'll help you.
Look, I'm well aware of your prior experiences and what you have, but at this point, I feel like I don't have anything. That's nothing to say. Obviously you're very talented, and I've always enjoyed your melodica.
Oh,
It's
thank you very much.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that you have great potential, and I've actually had a chance now to experience the wider world a bit. I mean, obviously to a limited extent, but I think that there could be a place for us outside of this town, as much as you've had difficulty leaving it.
No. Do you reckon? Oh, I don't know. All I know is pastries.
Well, and how to play the melodica.
That is true. I do know that.
I think that there is an opportunity, and I think that at least my time here has come to an end. I've been struggling to reconnect with everything. There's just been a change, and I can't reconnect. I need to find myself. So that's why I've come down. I can't go there. I've lost my sight, Bree, and I need help in my travel. And I think that I know that you've always had difficulty with your family, but I think that I could persuade them. If a cleric says this is a holy quest, they've always been very supportive of the monastery, and they've always this town is very like coming to the ceremonies and everything like that. I might be able to have some sway with them.
That'd be true. Yeah, I do like it.
I
suppose I just watching what wheel go round and watching it churn up grain and potatoes growing. I suppose I could. I've seen a lot of that. I suppose I could come help you. Could bring my melodica and help you find out what's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a plan at this point. I just need to find something that's not this. I've been here, I've done this, and I feel like you feel the same. And if we could just go out and explore the world, can you remember what it was like before when everything was new? The next field along was new, and we could just go and explore there. That's no longer the case. But what if the next field is beyond this village?
That's true. I have always wanted to see what's over Mrs. Higgins' Edge. I tell you, I've always wanted to see what's over there, and I can't. I'm stuck here.
Yeah,
So
well, at least you can still see it.
it's
Still
true.
take for granted.
It's true.
Don't take that for granted. But no, sorry to put a downer on that.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I'm still getting. Yes, yeah, it's fine. I was supposed to be the one that's in peace with everything, right? No. So, if I just have the opportunity to talk with your parents, your family, I'm sure that we could come to some solution. You could be my guide, and it's a holy image, something like that. I'm sure I could smooth it over with them.
Oh, it sounds like fun, actually. Yeah, let's do it. Let's rock and roll.
So
As the conversation
can I
is
come in?
as this conversation is reaching its crescendo, and you're having this kind of like, there's so many emotions in this conversation. Like, you've not seen each other in so long, the physical disparities between the last time you saw, and now this sudden yearning for adventure and this like change of life direction for you, Bree. And it's almost immediately disturbed by, in the corner of your eye, almost up like the lower cloud line, you hear this sonic boom, and this streak of white light across the sky, and it's like almost like the echoing deafness streaks across the sky as this burning, almost fireball type thing just flies across the skyline. No more than 2 seconds after this happens, you turn to your immediate right and you hear this immediate crashing sound as these two kitsune crash through the freshly piled boxes of your recent pastry delivery that was set to go to the nearby town. And these two brightly coloured fox creatures stumble through in great pace, as if they were running away from something, through this pile of crates and boxes, knocking fresh pasties all over the floor. And as like one of the boxes slams into the ground and opens up and shatters and slides across the floor, leaving this weird kind of like browny red stain across the floor, these two kitsune just lay there and look up to you with these like glittery little lost puppy eyes, almost in a panic. And you look down at them. What do you guys want to do, and what happens in this immediate situation?
Those damn kitsunes.
Sakura looks up at the two strangers standing there and immediately puts her hands to her face in utter shock and mutters, "Oh my God! I'm so sorry. Look at Cyrus! Look what you've done now! You've ruined this poor, beautiful cow folks' pastries, I think."
Oh, don't worry about that. Here, guys, give us a hand up. What are you doing there? Just standing there. I'm just sort of looking
What have you
towards
done
like,
to my
Zachariah.
pastries? What have you done? What? Those were to go to the next town over, and you destroyed all of them. That took days.
Yeah, that was about they've sufficiently destroyed about 25% of your next shipment into Brazen Hill. Like, completely destroyed it.
Oh, they're still good. They're still good. Just gotta brush off the dirt a little bit, and you can send them straight off.
Just the dirt. You can't sell dirty pasties to customers. You can't do that.
I mean, beggars can't be choosers. I'd still eat them.
Oh,
Anything? No, wouldn't you, Cyrus?
Zachariah sort of like stands between sort of Bree and the kitsune, and is like trying to go like, "No, Bree, calm down.
tell me what to do, Zachariah. Right? You haven't been slaving away at these pasties for the last couple of days.
Listen, please listen. Look, I'm terribly sorry. We were just trying to run from this horrible man chasing us with a pitchfork. We just had to get away. How about if we help you take this shipment to the town, as a way of saying sorry for what we've done. We can at least help you in that way.
Bree, do you need help with that sort of stuff?
I suppose could help.
There's always a diplomatic way that you can achieve these sorts of things, and that sounds like an amicable solution. What about your the friend on the ground, he seemed a bit aggressive, I guess.
Don't mind Osiris. He means well. He's just a little bit thick between the ears, is all.
Oh, I know a lot about being thick. They said my IQ wasn't too smart when I was young. I don't know what they're talking about though. I know my 2, 3, 4s and my ABZs. You know, I'm sure he's fine. Come on, let me give you a hand up. If you two help me get this shipment to the village, you'll be fine. But if you don't, I don't know what I'll do because I'm not aggressive like that. But you'll be in trouble.
Okay, I'm sure everything always works out. There's always a plan for everything.
Cyrus, get up and apologize.
Fine. Just remember that I'm only doing it for you, Sakura. I'm sorry, guys.
Chorus,
Shouldn't have thought.
it's very good to meet you. And he sort of puts out a hand to having learned Sakura's name. To sort of like.
Thank you. What is your name?
I'm Zachariah.
It's lovely to meet you, Zachariah.
We have like a very graceful handshake. Probably the most graceful thing that's ever happened.
So, you guys have this gracious handshake, and then I just come in with this like right hand slap to you guys and start violently shaking your hands. And I go, Bree's the name, pastries is my game. How would you do?
It's lovely to meet you, Bree. Lovely to meet you. Can you let go of my hand, though, please? That's.
Do you mean you never seen a country handshake before?
It's good to see that
I'm afraid
you haven't changed either.
I'm afraid not. I've not really experienced much of the countryside. This is one of my first times out, actually.
So what are you doing out in the countryside, actually? Because it's and what are you running from?
I suppose we could say I'm breaking the shackles. I had to get away from my family. Such like a blanket all over me all the time, and it felt like I couldn't breathe. So I've decided to explore a little bit more of my magic.
I definitely understand that. In fact, have you ever tried the monastery life? It's what I did when I felt that way. Didn't want to go to.
Christ, no! Monastery? I'm too different for the monastery. I'd look silly in robes.
Well, guess it's not for everyone. Yes. But I mean, Bree here is also experiencing some, shall we say, family troubles. Seems to be a common thing around here, I guess.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
Maybe that's how adventurers are born, I guess. But no. What about this friend of yours? He seems not someone that I would have expected to be joining you on such a wild adventure that you're going on.
And you guys look around, and Osiris is kind of like just like scooping up bits of pasty and like tipping it back into like boxes. But the the problem is he's like, some of the boxes that you knocked over just knocked the lid off, and what he's actually doing is he's scooping up
away
dirt.
my secrets.
Yeah, he's scooping up dirty pasties and putting them into fresh pasty boxes.
I thought he was going to be scooping them up and putting them into his maw or his pouch, like
Yeah.
like,
Exactly what I was going to be doing. Like, as I'm sort of like helping you sort of put these pasties away, I'm just like, slowly helping myself to like 1 or 2 pasties, like every couple of boxes. I'd say.
So Osiris is a complete degenerate, basically.
Oh, these pasties really good. You sweeten them with paprika? Yeah, family recipe. I can tell.
And as you guys, the lull in the conversation dies down, it's funny that, like, A DM note. None of you mentioned the giant fucking fireball flying through the sky.
Kitsunes that just
It's
appeared
just
out of nowhere.
it's just an everyday occurrence. You know, there's 4 of those every day, Bree says.
Fireball. I was
just
just running away
countries.
from the farmer.
But it's funny because as you're doing this, you hear like another, like this one's even further away this time, like boom.
You hear that?
No, I think Discord
And now
did it.
they are becoming more frequent, and one of them looks dangerously close as it rockets right above the farmstead, no more than 200 meters above you. And as you look and get more of a perspective on it, it's this black kind of like spherical object encased in fire from like just the atmospheric pressure of coming in. And as it rockets past you, you almost have to cover your ears as it almost blows out your eardrums, and some of like the windows like start reverberating just from the passive energy from this thing. It flies narrowly above you, missing the farmstead by no more than 200-300 meters above you, and you watch as it dips below the far tree line with a massive impact and explosion, causing a huge dust plume to rocket into the sky, and it almost blots out the sun for about 10 seconds, and you just kind of like see it settle on the far side, no more than half a kilometer away from you guys. A few seconds pass and you don't really see anything, and then emerging from the dust you see shadows, hundreds of shadows. You see them scatter in all different directions. Some are various different sizes, some are small, some are big. They're almost like cloud-like entities that seem to be pulsating as they move. And you watch as one of them that's nearby rockets out of the nearby tree line and just engulfs an entire like cattle that's like grazing nearby, and you just hear an almighty wail, and then it disappears and you just see ash in its wake. And as it disappears off in all these different directions, 2 or 3 are heading towards the city. There's like 5 or 6 more that are disappearing far over the recent, like over the nearby hills, far off into the distance. And as 3 more come barreling down in towards you, I need everybody to roll initiative for me, please. So, to set the scene for the combat, guys, as you approach the tree line where this kind of like asteroid type object just came in from the skyline and impacted the nearby ground, you look and you're almost like got your hands over your mouth as you're coughing a little bit from the dust that hasn't fully settled, and you can see these like shadowy shapes like darting like across you from left to right, and they're just going for any and all living creatures. There are birds in trees that are nesting, and they're swarming up towards them and encompassing them and leaving ash in their wake and then disappearing off into the distance. There are 3 directly in front of you that come barreling straight towards you, and one of them basically floats in this almost acrobatic type cloud-like way towards the entire group, and it's going to move 40 feet in your direction. And let me just see, are you within range? You are not in range, and it's just going to use all of its movement to get right up in front of you guys. Sakura, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
So first of all, I am going to move as far away from it as I possibly can.
Sure. It's a pretty scary fart cloud.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's as far as I can go. So yeah, just double check it. Movement speed 30. So I think that was it, wasn't it?
No worries. So you dart back in an agility, an acrobatic type way.
Yeah, before engagement, and then I am going to cast. Let's see. What can I cast?
A spell.
Yeah, a spell. I am going to cast. I'm going to cast a cantrip, Firebolt.
Go for it. Roll to hit on that.
17.
That hits. Roll for damage.
Oh, ouch. 2.
2 points of damage. unfortunately. As you cast the firebolt, you release it from your arcane arm, and it's just... and it impacts the cloud, and it almost partially goes through the cloud before it hits something almost more solid on the inside that you can't quite see. And like the fire like engulfs the nearby like surrounding area, but it's almost like sucks it back in on itself and seems to absorb most of the damage, and it didn't seem to have as much effect as you were hoping for. Does that end your turn?
Yes.
No
That
worries.
ends my turn.
Okay. It is one of these other entities' turns, and is going to... You watch as this one disappears off into a nearby tree and seems to be going after some kind of like squirrels or like sort of gopher type creatures, and it like goes over them, and it almost shrinks to go down into one of the gopher holes, almost like it morphs into a smaller version of itself to go down into the gopher holes and starts ransacking, and you just hear like squeaks of like pain and shrieking as like they just get turned to ash in its wake.
So that one's Brynjolf in another life.
It is Brynjolf and a love knife. Bree, what are you doing? It's your turn.
Let's have a look. Can I will try and use a cantrip of Thunderclap.
Ice knife.
No, not Ice Knife. No.
Okay, what are you doing?
I'm gonna try do a cantrip of Thunderclap.
Go for it. Is that a save?
It's a con.
Con save, no worries. On the one right in front of you, yeah?
Yeah.
Natural 2?
What do I roll again?
No, if oh, you can go ahead. Brad, if you want to talk.
Yeah, so what's the damage on that?
For information or for learning things, when you when someone has to do a save, you don't have to roll an attack on it. So
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Damage
Of course,
off.
yes. Sorry.
Yeah, so just tell me the damage on it, please. Because he failed the save, so it takes full damage, I'm presuming.
Yeah, full
1
damage.
million.
That be 4 damage, that be.
Just 4, yeah?
Also, as a thing, it is an area effect. So you sort of choose.
Ah.
So
Okay.
it says if you read there's thunderclap, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Each creature within range other than you must succeed a Constitution saving throw or take 1d6 thunder damage. But the range is 5-foot casting area. So, but just as a
It's a cone, is it not?
uh,
It's a 15-foot cone, so it wouldn't hit you guys, I don't think.
if you're doing it from that direction, yeah.
Yeah. So you're good. Just glances past Osiris, but yeah, you release this thunderous energy, and it almost like pushes this creature back about 5 feet, but it definitely seems to have dispersed some of the mist. It doesn't seem to be as full as it once was. It hasn't got the volume to it that it appeared to have previously. Zachariah, you're up. And Cyrus, you're on deck.
So Zachariah will go, sort of still next to him, and we'll go. Look, Bree, I'm hoping that we can work through this together, and we'll cast, wait, not exactly cast, but we'll sort of imbue some of his spiritualness between themselves and create a bond. So as an action, I'm using emboldening bond, I guess.
Channel Divinity?
It's not a channel divinity.
No?
It's a first level thing. So,
Oh, cool.
or the first thing of the peace cleric. So, while we both of us are within 30 feet of each other, the creature, so either one of us, can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to an attack roll, an ability check, or a saving throw it makes.
Is that concentration?
No, as in, is this concentration?
The
No,
spell you're
it's just-
casting.
It's not a spell. It's not a spell. It's just a cleric ability.
No worries. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I'll give you guys a little green dot so that you know. And it's both of you, yeah?
Yeah, both of us. And while we're in 30 feet of each other, each creature can add the d4 no more than once per turn.
Cool. And is it just limited to you two or everyone else in range?
Just us two, because
It's a bond between two of you. Awesome.
Yeah, and
Brilliant.
It lasts for 10 minutes.
That's cool. No worries.
And then as a bonus action, I wish to cast Spiritual Weapon.
All right. No worries. Describe your spiritual weapon.
So the spiritual weapon, I haven't actually thought of this.
Imagine not planning your character.
Whoa.
Go on. What's your spiritual weapon?
It will be a pair of horns.
Cool. So like antlers, yeah.
Yeah, a pair of antlers that like connected at the base. They would be suspiciously similar to what you could imagine coming out and say, the same proportions and everything. And yeah, so they initially just start off. Can I use them?
Cool. So I've added a pair of antlers to the map, which you can control, and I will give them a tint so you can see them. I'm gonna make them blue.
Oh yeah.
That's your spiritual weapon. Where would you like to put it?
You can make a release within 5 feet of me. So there's no one. They turn up. Okay, yeah. So they turn up right next to the thing that's approaching us, because I can cast it within that range.
Cool.
And then
So
I can immediately make a.
Are you happy with the position of the spiritual weapon on the map?
Yeah.
Cool. And you can control it. Just double check you can control it, please.
Yeah.
Perfect. Cool. That's your spiritual weapon.
Yeah. So these are taking up a 15 by 15 area.
Yes, they are.
These. Okay. So yeah, that'll be there. So I can make a attack against it. So
go for it.
Try and do that.
Gonna boop it on the nose.
It was so close, but that's an 8. That wasn't.
That misses, unfortunately.
Yep. Okay, and so then as my final thing, I wish to move. I'm not going to move too far away because I want to still remain bonded.
You have to stay a certain distance. You have to certain distance away from your spiritual weapon as well. Just saying.
Yeah, it's a 60 foot.
Perfect. No worries.
So this is. I'll probably be like here. I don't want to be too far away. I still want to be, helping distance away.
Cool.
I also don't want to be front line.
Yeah, so you watch as like the spiritual weapon comes out and these grandeur antlers come out and take a swipe at this creature, but just seem to go through kind of like a part of the mist and just miss completely. And a lot of the party is now backing up into the thicker brush surrounding this impact site, this ground zero, as it were, to kind of like get natural cover in the tree lines. Osiris, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
I would like to move. Probably. I'm going to use it in my entire movement to move here.
Okay, it will provoke an attack of opportunity as you pass through this creature's melee range, just so you know.
I'm sure I can get around that.
Wow. I'll let you retcon it this once, because we're early in the campaign, but in the future, if you do...
I can definitely get around that.
Perfect.
Yeah, he's true.
Yeah. No worries.
And I'm going to attack this fart cloud here.
Go for it. You guys are ruining my mobs. Stop calling them fart clouds. They're serious enemies. Serious, guys.
I'm serious, guys.
Only
I'm super serious.
I rolled a 12.
That does not hit, unfortunately.
Damn it.
These fart clouds are strong.
I don't have a bonus action to use, so that's me done.
I can imagine like Bree being like, stop stuffing your face with pastries and or do something useful.
Excellent West Country accent.
In a terrible West Country accent. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. So it is the fart cloud. I'm just gonna call them fart clouds now because it's stuck, man. It's stuck.
I mean, you're the game. You can do whatever you want.
How to ruin immersion in 5 seconds.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah, this one did not take kindly to you attacking it. It's going to use its full movement to get up with you. And it's going to... Well, it's not going to cast anything.
Blast.
It's not going to cast anything. It's going to use its leeching aura. And if anything starts its turn in its radius, you take 2 necrotic damage immediately, and it heals by 2. So you are within its necrotic range. So you are now, the life force is starting to get sucked out of your very soul, and it is imbuing this creature with more energy, and it starts to swell in size as it encompasses you. And it will also cast corruption, so I need you to make a constitution saving throw for me, please.
Do we know what its range is for the necrotic damage? Like,
It's 5 foot around its persons. Taking an inspiration from a certain PC that played in another campaign.
My con save was 2.
That is a fail. You take 2d4 plus 1.
Are you sure? Are you sure it's a fail?
Wait, what did you say? 2?
2? Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a fail. You take 2d4. You take 2d4 necrotic damage as the swells of mist that seem to be emanating from this creature start to wrap around your arms and legs and seep up your body. So you take 3, 5, 6 points of necrotic damage as it starts to burn up your fur and start to blacken your fur from this glorious white to now black and charcoal grey. That is going to end its turn. And it is the other creature's turn that was previously by the spiritual weapon. It sees sees, feels, senses these antlers up in front of it. And it's going to probably waste its turn trying to encompass it and kind of like consume it because it doesn't know what it is. And I'm presuming it has absolutely no effect. There's no HP or AC of a spiritual weapon. Yeah, so it wastes its entire turn, but it does move 5 feet in this direction trying to do that. Which...
As a note, I can't see Osiris's health.
Oh, no worries. I will ensure that I add that for you. There you go.
Oh, there you go. Cool.
Cool. All right. Now the viewers can see his health.
Crazy. All.
Sakura, your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay, so I would like to continue my attack on said fart cloud here. And I am going to, first of all, though, I'm going to back away and just come. Do I have line of sight on that? I do, don't I?
It's not full coverage. The trees, the trunks on the trees aren't that thick, so you can see through them. So.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to double check, and I will cast. I will cast Thunder Wave at second level, and I'll cast it into the center of.
So you pick a point on the map, right, to cast the spell?
Yeah.
I'm presuming. Cool.
Yeah. So I will actually.
Brad, why don't you you could use the viewers again as an excuse to have him explain the mechanics of the spell.
Of course.
Okay. So
I don't mind
theoretically, I can theoretically cast it here,
sure,
and it will affect this one, and it will also affect this one.
No worries.
So I am going to do that, and so you need to make a con save.
Okay, so just for the pink one is the one closest to spiritual weapon, and the black dice is the one by Osiris. The one by Osiris rolled a natural 1, and the pink one by the spiritual weapon rolled a 17 plus 2, 19.
Okay, so
the one by Osiris fails.
Yeah. Okay, so then that takes. That takes 17 damage.
Oof. Nice. Okay, and the other one takes half damage, I'm presuming, or does it succeed completely?
I'm just going to double check that. It takes half damage on success.
Cool. So that'll be.
And
8.
the one that's attacking Osiris also gets pushed 10 feet away from its position.
Nice. Okay, I'll do that. No worries. So as you cast this like incredibly high level spell, it erupts from the center of the ground and just completely decimates the one by Osiris, clearing the air in front of him. The tendrils of smoke that were wrapped around Osiris get forced off his being, and like it retreats almost down back into like the crater, almost in fear of what was happening. The one by the spiritual weapon seemed to have been kind of like partially in some of the tree line, which kind of like provided some natural cover, and it didn't take as much damage. Does that end your turn?
That does. I just want to do like a... Come on, guys. We can do this. They're weakening. Quick.
You do still have your movement if you want to use it.
Let me see. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I could move. Sorry. I could move, couldn't I? I could definitely move. I'm going to move up, slightly further up into the trees. So 5, 10, 15... 20, just up to the top.
Cool. Alright, no worries. Flanking position, nice. That ends your turn now, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. So it is this cloud that was consuming Go for breakfast. It is going to see what's happening, or sense what's happening, or whatever the hell it does, and it's going to start floating towards the commotion and sensing a much bigger meal in this direction. That's as far as it can move. It's going to use its bonus action to go after Osiris, and as it enters your range, Osiris, you take a deep sigh of relief, followed by a, oh god damn it, as another one just comes out of fucking nowhere straight at you, and you will take 2 damage by default as it comes into your range of necrotic damage. And it will heal too, if it had been hurt. But it's not, it's at full HP. It would.
It would.
And that ends its turn. Bree, you're up, followed by Zachariah. What would you like to do?
Right. So if this works, this feels like this is incredibly broken, but I have Warding Wind as a 2nd level spell, and it says in it that it hedges out vapor, gas, and fog. Does these creatures count as any of those things, like gases or fog?
Because I am the rule of cool, and these are of a mist type substance, I'm going to allow it. Yeah, let's see how this goes.
So, how does
that
this
is
work?
that is what makes up the being, as it were. They're a vaporous, necrotic gas cloud of some kind.
So I think, how do I do this one?
So is it a is it like a save throw, or is it a roll to hit?
It doesn't say anything, it's just blank.
Okay. So then you should just be able to pick up. Does it give you a range at which you can use it?
What's the spell called?
You can double click the spell, and it will tell you what it does.
Yeah.
It's Warding Wind.
It's around you. Remaining centered on you.
And isn't it for 20-foot radius?
It's a range of 20 foot, 10 foot.
Okay,
10
hang
foot.
on. So can I, in that case, can I move next to the beast and?
So also just as a point or as a thing to bring up, do you want me to interject with any differences in rules, because there was some stuff that happened in the previous turn which also sort of similar to this that wasn't picked up on?
We'll just leave it for now. We can talk about it after the session. It's all good.
Yeah.
Sure.
I thought I'd leave it as.
So just describe what the spell does, because we still don't know what the spell does yet.
A strong wind at 20 miles per hour blows around you in a 10-foot radius and moves with you, remaining centered on you. The wind lasts for the spell's duration. It has the following effects. It deafens you and other creatures. It extinguishes unprotected flames. It hedges out vapor, gas, and fog that can be dispersed by strong winds. The area is difficult terrain for creatures other than you. The attack rolls of ranged weapons attacks have disadvantage if it passes in or out of the wind.
Gosh, this is a fun spell. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yes, you basically become a walking tornado, effectively. Yeah. That's pretty cool. I like it. Yeah, I'll allow it. It's decent.
Cool. So how do I actually cast it? Do I need to roll something, or is it just effective?
Sounds like it's just a passive effect. It just happens.
It just happens.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So if you move into range of one of these things, we'll see what happens.
And you can tick off when you cast a spell within Beyond.
Yeah. It does say there is a small cast button alongside the...
Yeah. Just done it, yeah. So in that case, technically, can I move here?
Yeah.
I'm next to both of them, and then because it's in a 10... Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. You do move into their range, so unfortunately you automatically take 4 points of necrotic damage for entering their range, but the spell does work, and it does force them out of your immediate vicinity. So they get pushed back 20 feet, you say, or 10 feet?
They don't get pushed back.
It just says hedges out. Yeah, it disperses them.
Yeah, so for in the sake of flair, then I will say because of just their gaseous makeup, they can't seem to deal with the increased winds, and they will get dispersed slightly, pushing them back 10 feet in this direction.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't actually kill them. Oh.
Does no damage.
Yeah, it protects you.
Does spiritual weapon get opportunity attacks or not?
I'm not sure. I was going to ask about opportunity attacks for the other one. You want to do those ones while I check about spiritual weapons opportunity attack?
Yeah, oh my god, Osiris. You can have an opportunity attack as they leave your range if you'd like.
Yeah, I will definitely attack.
Go for it. Do you want to roll to hit?
23 to hit.
What are you attacking with, out of interest?
The longbow.
The longbow. Okay, so 23, did you say?
Yeah.
Cool, that hits. Roll for damage.
5 piercing damage.
5.
I'm going to go for that one, I guess.
As you fire the bow, you fire it, and it whistles right through this thing. Barely connecting with anything. It disperses a lot of the mist, but it seems to have had almost no effect on whatever this creature is. It definitely has dispersed some of the mist, and it took damage, but not as much as you were hoping.
Well, damn.
Doesn't appear to be affected by martial weapons. Does that end your turn? That was Febreze ended.
Attack.
Yeah, no worries. So it'll be Zachariah followed by Osiris. Zachariah, what would you like to do?
Is this my turn?
Yes, unless your spiritual weapon can take an opportunity attack.
It can't take an opportunity
Cool,
attack.
then it is your turn.
Cool. So the first thing I want to do is move spiritual weapon as my bonus action towards there so that it can make an attack.
Go for it.
I might move it. How far can I move this? I'll move it. Yeah, I'll just move it there. Attack. What is it? 20. A non-natural
20 hits, and this is a magical weapon, so roll for damage.
5 damage.
5 points of damage. As the spiritual weapon connects, this definitely connects. Due to the arcane presence of this this weapon. It just slashes through and carves a clean chunk out of this mist's form, and it just like disperses into like nothingness as it takes like a huge chunk out of it. And there's not a lot of this mist entity left now. There are parts of it that are sort of like flaking off from each other and like coming back and grasping onto a central orb in the middle, as like a lot of the thickness and density of it seems to be disparring. Does that end your turn?
Nope. I want to go and make. I'm within range 60 foot to make a sacred flame attack to this.
Go for it.
They need to make. They need to make a.
They fail. There's a 5. They fail.
Dexterity saving throw.
You never know. It could be 4.
They fail. Trust me.
Yeah.
So which one are you attacking? The one by the spiritual weapon?
Yeah, the one by the spiritual weapon. And
Go for it.
Oh, just one.
Just 1 point of damage. Oh, you poor thing. You
Just
poor
one voice.
thing. 1 point of damage.
Yeah. I haven't even got an opportunity to use my bond yet, but I think everyone is doing fine. Cool. Right. Yep. That is.
All right. Osiris, you're up.
Yeah.
You're looking
Oh,
pretty
man.
hurt. You're looking pretty hurt, Osiris.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my movement to sort of just hang back here.
Okay.
Yeah, I am gonna make my little whiffle attack again with my longbow.
Your whiffy attack. Okay, cool.
But yeah.
Which one are you trying to hit?
This one just
The middle
past
one.
Bree's head. Yeah.
The middle-
Just remember what Bree's happening to Bree right now.
Yeah. It's fine. He'll be fine.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking about what the warding wind does in terms of ranged attacks.
You have disadvantage.
Yes.
Disadvantage.
Because he's got a strong winds around him.
You would be able to hit the one on the right-hand side,
Mm.
and it wouldn't be within range of his little mini tornado. So you could attack that one without disadvantage, but the one in the middle, it would be passing through his cyclone, so it would suffer a disadvantaged attack. So it's up to you what you want to do.
Okay. Yeah. I guess I'll go for the right hand side one then.
Go for
Just
it.
so that I've got a bit more of a. Yeah. 21 to hit.
That hits. Roll for damage.
Oh, 4. Yeah.
Yeah, so that is 4 reduced to 2 because of the fact that they just don't seem to be affected by non-magical weapons. Martial non-magical weapons. You fire again, you take off a small chunk of it, but it just... The arrow just whiffs straight through the thing. It's on target. You're accurate, but it's just not doing the damage you want it to do. Does that end your turn?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay. It is the one that you just attacked's turn. It notices the cyclone. It seems to have an intelligence about it. And it takes a wide berth and darts through the tree line. And uses all of its movement, plus a bonus action to get within Sakura's range. And you take 2 points of necrotic damage as it enters your space immediately. And it heals by 2 as it saps your life force from your very fur, Sakura. That will end its turn because it used its action to dash. It is the other one's turn near the spiritual weapon, and it's figured that the spiritual weapon is not something that is tasty and yummy and it can turn to ash. So it is going to take a wide berth because it has also learned about the cyclone. And as it enters Zachariah's range, Zachariah takes 2 points of necrotic damage. And it also heals by 2. And no, this does not work the same as the necrotic spores from a previous character, just so you know. This is a homebrew entity, if that's what you were whinging about earlier. So.
No.
Oh no, it's something else. Something I genuinely messed up.
Yeah, Zachariah, whinging.
So yeah, and like it's just these creatures just leeching off of your life force in every single way. It didn't use its action to dash this time, so it does get to actually have a turn. It is going to corrupt you, Zachariah. Can you make a Constitution saving throw for me, please?
And I'm going to add my D4.
Sure.
So 17 in total.
That is a save, so you only take 2 points of necrotic damage as you're able to, your mental fortitude and your constitutional fortitude is able to ward off some of the necrotic pull and leeching energy from this thing. So it's only 2 points. That will end its turn. Sakura, you are up. What would you like to do?
Okay, so I am going to move out of range, first of all, because I don't want to die.
Sure,
but I'm gonna
that will provoke an opportunity attack, just so you know.
Will it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're moving out of its melee range.
Oh, you know what? Let's see.
It's up to you.
I don't think this will hurt me.
You can use an action to disengage if you want.
No, I'm actually going to cast a spell here where I'm. So just here, which is out of range for me. And I'm going to use Shatter.
Cool.
And it is a con saving.
Natural 19.
Shit. Okay. So I'm casting that and rolling that. So you would have taken 19 damage. But you take
first or second level?
Second level.
Yeah,
that's my second level spell.
So that's half to 8, I'm presuming.
Yes, it would be half to 8.
No worries.
But because yours is an inorganic material, it has disadvantage. Oh, it has disadvantage on the saving throw. Sorry, I didn't. I just read that. A creature made of a creature made of inorganic material.
I'm rolling again. Oh, you. Natural 2.
Ha! Yes. Okay, so you take the full 19.
Okay, yeah, this is enough to completely shred through this thing. So, describe the shatter for me and how it disperses this, this gaseous creature.
Okay, so noticing that I'm within this creature thing entity's range,
the feeling
the life force being pulled out of myself, I quickly think, what can I do? What's going to be effective against these creatures? And I remember Shatter. Shatter has causes massive damage to inorganic materials. So I point my spellcasting hand just out in front of me, out of my range, and watch as I throw down a shattering bolt that explodes with a massive thunderclap, and just watch as this thunder strike permeates through this entity and just disperses it into the atmosphere.
No worries. Does that end your turn? Or would you like to do anything else?
I will now move.
Run away!
Aha! I will go. I'm going to move probably my full 30, which would give me. So yeah, I'm just going to head to there. Bam.
No worries. So, okay, that brings us to this gas cloud's turn. It's really pissed off with Bree. Very pissed off with Bree. It's going to see what happened to the other version of itself, and it's going to head in that direction. 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me just double check something. Okay, it can keep moving. Unfortunately, you do take 2 points of necrotic damage as it enters your range. and it heals by 2 as it starts sapping your life force, Sakura. It did not use its action to dash this time, so it gets a turn, and is going to attempt to corrupt you, Sakura. Please make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
14.
Ooh, I think that is just a save. Well done.
Okay.
So that is 3 points of necrotic damage as you're able to stave off the worst of it. And that will end its turn. Bree, you're up, followed by Zachariah on deck.
Right. Can I? So.
Remember, if you move out of range of 30 feet from Zachariah, the connection's broken.
Ah, okay.
I don't. Just as a thing.
No?
I think it doesn't break it. You can't use it, but like if we.
I get you.
Yeah.
If you can re-establish it once you. No worries.
I think, yeah.
Thank you for
So-
clarifying.
Can I move over to the? Actually, I want to use Shatter on the cloud next to Zachariah.
Okay, as long as you don't hit Zachariah with the shatter, I'm presuming. Of course, that's a disadvantage con save, yeah?
Yeah.
What level are you casting shatter at?
Second level.
Well, I rolled a natural 1 and a 10, so fuck you.
Shatter is
coming in.
great. Because I was. Sorry, carry on.
Oh, 15.
Yeah,
15. Okay. Yeah, describe how this thing gets eviscerated by your shatter, please.
So, basically, Bree has this tool belt around them from when they were working previously, and on it has like a holster with a pasty in. They grab this pasty.
As you do.
They grab this pasty.
This boy, combat pasty.
We combat pasty.
We
Rips
combat
the
pasty.
end off. He rips the end off. He like chugs this vegetable paste down his throat and stuffs it in, and then just bam, just obliterates this cloud from the power of pasties.
So he Popeyes this thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought that you were gonna say like choose the edge of it and then he lobs it like a grenade.
Yeah, it's like a grenade or something.
Get down. Hit the dirt.
Get got.
Nice. Cool. So that's 2 gone. The only one left seems to be encompassing Sakura and sapping her very life force. Does that end your turn?
They don't call this the gut buster range for nothing round here.
Does that end your turn, Bree? Unless you'd like to use your
sorry.
movement or anything like that.
I will move up here if that's possible.
Yeah,
You
sure.
can move 30 feet, so you can actually move closer if you wanted to.
That would be a bad idea, but sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say we want to stay well away from these
He
things.
blows it away, remember? He's still
Oh, that's true. You could move. You could.
That is a
help
good
me.
point. Gosh,
in
I'm
that
dumb.
case, I will move here. And I
Sure.
will try and float away.
Yeah, and it pushes it 10 feet. So 5, 10. It is still in range, in the corner space of Sakura, but it does push it away.
It's not in range of Bree.
It's not in range of Bree, but it is in range of Sakura still.
Yeah.
Zachariah, you're up, followed by Osiris.
Cool. So the first thing I want to do is move my. How far could spiritual weapon go? I think I move it 20 feet. 20 feet. That's there. Bam. Then I wish to use, sensing that everyone's moving over in that direction, and also sort of, Zachariah feels the pain and anguish that occurs when people get damaged, and it's not very nice. So can sort of sense that things are going on over here. So I'll use the channel divinity to do a balm of peace. So where is my other? There you go. Use my channel divinity. So I can basically take a little wander. I've got. I can't get Sakura, unfortunately, but he wants to end up with Bree. So we'll first move over towards, quite gracefully, towards Osiris. And as I approach his range, Osiris sort of feels like a bit of peace fall upon them, and is healed by 2d6,
Okay.
which is only 3, so not that much. Small amount of peace on Osiris.
Okay.
You don't want to give
then-
all the peace away, you know. You want to keep some of the inner peace for
gotta
yourself.
save it.
Yeah.
And we'll sort of probably mutter some calming words like, don't worry, it's almost over now. And then move over to Bree. Entering in, he realizes that Bree has this like nice protective force around, so it'll be next to Bree, and Bree also gets the same peace calming effect that rolls over them, which is a lot more effective at 6. So six heals to Bree. I guess it's more used to this calming effect that Zachariah has. On Bree. And that is my turn.
Cool. So what was the effect on that? Just again, just so I can...
Heal of 6. So
Nice.
Osiris healed 3, and Bree healed 6. And
Nice. So that puts Bree back up to full HP.
Yep.
But wait, Osiris got it as well.
Yep.
And Osiris got 4, you
3.
said?
3.
Nice. It's anyone you move past, yeah?
Yeah, within 5 feet, yeah.
Got ya.
So I had to
Cool.
take a little-
Nice.
And that's my reading, is that each of them get their own
Nice.
little heal.
A mobile cleric.
Yes.
It's like an in-flight refueling, but in-flight cleric.
When the little penis comes out from the bigger plane into the smaller plane.
Oh my god.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's exactly like that. That's
Are
what I
you
was thinking
leaving
of
your
when
spiritual weapon where it is?
It's moved as far as it
Got
can
you,
move.
got you. Cool, does that end your turn then?
That ends my turn.
Osiris,
Very
you're up.
peaceful.
Sakura, you're on deck.
Right.
Be useful,
guess I'm
Osiris.
I'm trying.
Have you not got any explosives or anything that you can attach to your
I
arrows?
wish I did. I'm gonna move 15 feet, and
That was
Yeah.
amazing when he did that.
I know.
just gonna detect that.
You literally ruined my whole boss with that.
Oh yeah,
Good.
it just
I'm
kept
glad.
attaching blasting power to the arrows.
You didn't
and doing
fail
so
a
much
single
damage.
hit. You didn't fail a single hit.
Rangers be OP, man. 22 to hit.
Yeah, talk over
That
it.
hits.
Ooh, 9 damage.
9. Okay, so that is reduced to 4, unfortunately, but yeah.
Round it
decent.
up. Go on.
No,
Oh,
always,
round it
no,
to 5. Go on to 5.
no. 4. You've already murdered 2 of my beasties. You know, this one ain't gonna last that long. So, alright, does that end your turn?
Yeah, it does, unfortunately.
Sakura, you're up. Sakura!
Okay, so I am going to stay within its range so it doesn't get an attack of opportunity on me, and I am
Sure.
going to cast.
How many more
first
shatter?
level
How many
No, I don't have any
more
more
shatters you
shatter.
got there?
I don't have any
What's
more
that?
shatter.
Good.
I've got Thunderwave at first level. That
Yes.
I'm
all
probably
of you
going
burn.
to use.
All of you burn through your spell slots. Mm.
And you have like little
and I'm
annotations
good.
and stuff that was
I'm-
like, please no shatter.
Shatter worked. It was good. It worked well.
Yeah. But the little fart cloud is just going like, please no shatter.
Oh yeah.
Please no.
Trembling.
Please no. He's French. Please no. No shatter, please.
Please no shatter.
I want
Yeah,
to
so I'm gonna
remain a
cast
gas
it.
cloud.
I'm going to cast it here because it has a 15-foot radius, and I don't really want to get hurt by it. So
Sure.
that's 20 foot away. And I'm going to cast Thunderwave, and it's a con save, and it's first level.
I rolled a 17.
Does save, but
Woohoo!
you take it's 11, so half 5 damage,
Nice.
and you're
Awesome.
not blown away from me either. So
No, I don't get blown by you. Thanks. That's great. Awesome. All right. As you cast this thing and it starts to like sort of sense what's going on around it and like see that there is some resistance starting to happen, in this vicinity that they seem to have emerged from. You hear like shrieks and shrills coming from it, and it will start to retreat, and it starts to kind of like go back towards the center of the crater. You can have an attack of opportunity on it if you'd like.
Oh, yes, I'm going to do a melee attack because I think that's all I can. Oh no, I can do chill touch or firebolt or ice knife.
A melee attack.
Oh, it would be a melee attack, yeah.
It has to be a melee attack. Unless you have Warcaster, you can't cast spells as a reaction.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't have Warcaster. So I do need to roll for hit, don't I?
Yeah, on the melee attack, sure.
Yeah. Well, I got 19.
That definitely hits. This is not a magical weapon though. So
I'm going to whack him with my quarterstaff.
nice.
It's 4 damage, so halved 2.
2. Cool. You crack this thing and you whiff through the mist and you seem to disperse some of it. But as you've seen from Osiris, these sort of martial weapons just don't seem to be doing as much damage as you'd like. But it did hurt it. It is its turn, and it's going to use. Oh no, that was its turn. It moved. It's going to use its full action to try and get back to whatever this object is in the center of this thing, and it sort of starts hovering around it, and like just hovering there, and it sort of like morphs its shape a few times. Nothing seems to be happening. Whatever's crashed here is not functioning the way that it expects, and it's going. Yeah.
There's an object there, like there's a thing around.
There is an object in the middle of this crater. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and it's going to end its turn hovering there in somewhat confusion. If a gas cloud could be confused, then the gas cloud would be confused. Bree, you're up. And followed by Zachariah. Zachariah's with his maracas.
I like how now you're pronouncing Zachariah like Sakura. On Sakura.
Yeah.
It's like Zachariah has a weird inflection.
Guys, this is session 1. It's going to take a little bit of time to get used to the characters. Yeah. Give me a break.
Maybe I should keep on changing the name of it, just slightly. Like,
I'm
Zacharia.
I'm still going to call you Zacharaka.
Zacharaka. Good old Zacharaka. Plays his maracas.
Yeah. Cool. Bree, what are you doing?
How close can I move in one turn?
What's your movement speed? 30 feet, I think.
Why is my walking speed 20 feet? I think I must have
Oh, it's 30 feet, yeah.
30 feet, yeah. You can use your action to move twice the distance if you want, but you then can't use an action. So
I will just move 30 for now, so that would be about there. So if I go
on the very edge of the crater, Creator.
Nice.
Oh, hang on, struggling a bit. Was it there?
Yeah.
Cool. No worries. You're on the edge of the crater. What do you want to do?
So now, can I use a thunderclap on it?
A thunder ass clap? Yes, you can on the gas cloud. Sure.
It is
an Orcayan ass clap. Nice. Let's go.
Well, they should be thick boys, shouldn't they?
Thick, meaty pastry clap.
Just working on the edge of the crater, just like clapping this fucking thunder across.
Well, he is a bard.
Just so you know, that was 1 hour 47 minutes before we divulged into
just degeneracy.
I mean, to be fair, 1 hour 47 is pretty.
It's not bad. It's not bad going.
Pretty respectable.
No, I'm impressed. I think we should, if we keep this up, we'll be a relatively PG-13 stream.
Yeah, we could sell this to Disney.
When does it become R18?
When you get to Wreath. We're making too many in jokes. Come on. So you're casting thunderclap, yeah?
Yeah.
Con save?
Con 13.
Natural 18. Finally, I'm rolling good. All right. Still half damage or no damage on that?
I think it's no damage.
All right. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
If it's a cantrip, then I think it is no damage.
Yeah, no damage then, yeah.
Cool. All right. Has no effects. You decide that maybe doing the thunderclap in the regular way with your hands is probably more beneficial than spinning around and twerk clapping in this creature's face. Cool. Zachariah, you are up, followed by Cyrus.
Cool. So, wanting to be still within the wind sort of protection that's going on, I'm going to move. Yeah, just right back up to breathe. Bonus action to move. I don't do this. Oh, gosh.
Can you use a bonus action? Oh no, wait for the spiritual weapon. Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you were doing rogue shit.
No.
You're not a rogue.
Move it back there.
To be a rogue again and have +10 stealth.
For everything, yeah. And then, I am going to try, because I am worried about what is going to happen with this if it gets released or anything like that. I'm going to try and command it to stop.
Interesting. It's not limited to like humanoids and creatures, is it? Like anything like that?
So yeah, I think it has to be able to understand me. You speak a one-line command to a creature you can see within range. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or follow the command on its next turn. The spell has no effect if the target is undead, it does not understand your language, or if your command is directly harmful for it.
Okay. To be fair on this, I obviously know what these things are about, but whether it understands you or not, I'm gonna roll for it because why not? So I'm just gonna roll an intelligence check on this thing, and if it rolls above a 12, it understands you. If it rolls below a 12, it does not. I rolled a 6, so it does not understand you, unfortunately. Not at this point.
Yeah. So that would mainly just in, as an attempt to try and stop it from wrecking more havoc, but does it naively and doesn't work.
These things are somewhat intelligent, as you've seen, because they reacted to what you guys were doing, but this is the first 5 or 6 minutes that they have been here.
Yeah. So just call out like, stop, and then
it just like just morphing in and out of its like effervescent shape, just stood there. It's trying to do something to whatever is in the middle of this crater, and whatever's happening is not working.
I whisper to Bria, it's like, might be a good thing that it doesn't understand actually.
Okay, does that end your turn?
Yep, that ends my turn.
Cyrus, you're up, followed by Segura.
Right, I am just going to attack straight off the bat.
Cool.
So, nat 20 to hit.
Oh.
Yes,
Oh,
that hits. Hold on. Hold on. Yes, that does not get affected by Bree's thing. It is a critical hit. Yeah. So double your dice. Double your dice. Don't double the roll. Double the dice.
16 plus 3, 19.
Wait. 16 damage. You rolled.
I rolled 8.
Wow. Okay. And you said plus 9.
Plus 3, isn't it?
Plus. So 16. Yeah, 9. Oh yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. Oh sorry, my bad. It's already calculated it for me.
Yeah. I got well confused there.
Yeah, so was I actually.
Yeah.
It was 11. 11,
11, and that is. So that's 11 with the crit, yeah?
Yeah.
So that's 5 points of damage. No worries. Okay, cool. Does that end your turn?
Yeah.
Cool. As you fire the bow, again, no effect. Well, not no effect, but reduced effect. And as these like spells are just bombarding this thing in the crater, it's just unmoving and not like it's trying to do something, and giving up all of its defenses to do it, and it's just taking everything from you guys, and it's slowly starting to fade and shimmer out of existence as this happens. Sakura, you are up.
Okay.
And I will just let you know, just so you know, it is the gas cloud's turn on its next turn. On the next turn is it, so just bear that in mind.
I am going to move. I'm going to use my movement to go to here then, which should still give me the range. No. Yes, yeah, it will. Okay, so I'm going to move here. That was correct. Sorry, I'm doubting myself now. Yeah, that's correct. 45. Okay. I am going to use Ice Knife.
Such a meme. Yeah, okay.
And,
On Bree, right? Like,
directly onto Bree. No.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna hit this corner, the 45 feet. So what will be here?
Okay.
That should be out of range, right?
Yeah, it is out of range.
Yeah, I'm just double
Slightly
checking.
further.
Double checking.
You sure you don't want to aim 5 feet to the right? You sure? That looks like a weak spot on the creature. I think it is.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll to hit with the main blast of Ice Blast,
Go
or
for it.
Ice Knife rather, and that is a 13.
That does not hit, unfortunately.
Okay, so then it is anyone in a 5 feet must make a Dex saving throw,
Alright.
and
15.
that does save. So that means
Is that half damage or
it
none
must
at
succeed
all?
a Dex saving throw or take 2d6 cold damage. It doesn't say half damage,
Okay,
so I would
yeah, so
assume
it's-
it is.
Yeah, unfortunately it does no damage because it's saved. That's unfortunate. Okay, it is this creature's turn. It starts to morph in its shape, and it shrinks down to a very, very tiny size, and just disappears down into what appears to be kind of like a... Well, from this distance you can't really tell. All you can see is that it's disappeared down into some kind of an object, and it disappears from view. And I will consider, unless anyone wants to do anything, combat will be over. Anyone want to do anything specific on like as a team turn at this point?
Take a long rest.
Take a long rest, sure. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, right now. I've used
In
like
the
one
crater.
spell.
Long rest.
Or that was a tough battle, man. We gotta,
Especially for the first bloody one.
All
Those
right.
spark clouds, man, they were powerful. They were silent. They were violent, man.
How deep is this?
It's a
Like, I
gentle
guess-
incline. Probably all the way into the middle of the craters, probably about 12, 13 foot below where you currently are. It's a sizable chunk that has been taken out of the ground. But it's reasonably stable, and there doesn't appear to be any other signs of like immediate danger.
Can you see what this like object that's gone into is? Like, is it a big object that we sort of discernibly discern?
Yes. Roll just out of just pure interest. Everybody roll investigation for me, and I'll take a group average.
Okay,
Great.
22.
I'm gonna
22.
add my +4 to that.
Sure, I'll allow it. Yeah, time has not expired yet. I'll allow it.
And also, Bree, you get to do that too.
What do I do? I got 22 for my thingy.
So
So you get +4 as well.
Jesus.
Not +4. You roll a d4 and add that.
Oh, okay.
Because once per turn, on one of your checks, if you're in 30 feet if we're in 30 feet of each other,
Yeah, you roll a
can
d4 and add the
you
result
can
to
roll
your
a d4
roll.
and add that.
Right, so that's 23 then.
So we've had a 24 and a 23, is that right?
22 from me.
22 and a 23, okay.
9.
9, unfortunately, bringing up the rear, Osiris, dragging the team down, no worries.
Not very observant, obviously.
Hey man, I'm still getting used to my character, okay?
Yeah.
Like,
Um,
I went from being a useless knoll to a useless kitsune.
okay, Zachariah, what did you roll?
Oh, we can just move on from that and just focus on Osiris's crap roll. That's fine.
What did you roll, Zachariah?
Just a 7 is fine.
7.
Jesus. Well, to be fair, he is blind. Come on.
Well, you're not
Alright.
supposed to know that. That's metagaming.
So that will be roughly an average of around 14, unfortunately. That will
Use
affect.
my passive investigation.
Nope, that will
Oh.
affect what happens now. Okay,
Oh.
so you immediately notice in the center of the crater a large metallic structure, probably about 10 foot wide. It's cylindrical in shape, almost spherical in parts. And there's a hatch at the top that is open. And there is a warm, almost orangey red glow coming from inside. What do you guys want to do? And it's just there, like, and there's like a low hum in the air around you, almost like static electricity. And Sakura and Osiris, just being on the edge of this crater, you look and your fur is standing on end.
Can I cast Detect Magic to see if this object has a magic aura or origin?
You may.
Okay. So I would like to cast Detect Magic. I think it's 30 foot. Am I within 30 foot? If not, I will move within... Oh,
Yes. Yes, you are.
perfect. Okay.
Alright, so you cast Detect Magic, and I believe it gives you the School of Magic as well, does it not?
I believe so. Yeah, you learn it's from School of Magic.
Cool. So this is the most of the crater now is like emanating this bright glow that is filling like a 20-30 foot space around you. It's almost like where it impacted, there is residual magic energy emanating around the soil and the impact zone from where you are, and there is obviously emanating from the object itself, but there seems to be a residual energy encompassing most of the crater as well. And you're getting transmutation from this artifact.
I want to turn to Bree and go like, a lot's changed since I was last here. There's a regular occurrence, Bree?
A couple of thunderstorms every now and again, but I've not seen nothing like this, and I've not seen any farming equipment like this before. I don't know. It's just
You fucking hell. Bree's the best. Bree's my favourite PC at this point. It's done. Bree's my favourite.
Oh.
Awesome. At this point, yeah.
I'll also like, I guess why I'll go like, Sakura, you said that you weren't from this town. I presume that you've not seen anything like this before.
I don't believe so. I can feel a magic aura coming from this thing. Even from the crater, there's something emanating. I can feel it through my fingers, through my fur. I'm not quite sure what it is yet, but there's definitely a magical aura coming from this.
Is it bad?
I can't quite tell at this moment.
I mean, I've had my fair share of bad magics, you could say, but don't think I've seen anything like this, and you know, from where did it come from? I guess like it's not something that I've seen before, and definitely not any of those creatures that sort of turned up, I guess. I will as doing this. Can I move my spirit, because my spiritual weapon is still around? Will last.
Sure. How long does it last?
It lasts for 1 minute, so it won't
Yeah,
be
it has
that long.
expired at this point.
Okay, cool.
So
Yeah. Either there. Well, it's not.
sure, I got it.
Yeah.
GTFO.
Yeah.
Bye, blue antlers.
No one needs that anymore.
Cool.
Can I sense anything with it? Like, is there anything else that I'm picking up from it?
I mean, what do you mean you're picking up?
Well, given I can't see.
Oh, I see. With your true sight. Okay.
Well, wait to drop the. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well, you've been attacking things
There's
without
special-
eyes. People are kind of putting two and two together at this point, Zachariah. I mean, Zacharaka.
Zacharacas.
I use Sonic. That's why I have them. I'm using my Sonic abilities to.
Cool. Yeah. So, you see something moving inside this thing. Something's writhing around inside.
Similar to what I've been fighting.
Yeah. Smaller, but
Smaller.
there's something moving in there.
Is it erratically moving?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's whatever it was that was fighting us is still in there. Seems to be distraught or trying to do something. It doesn't seem to be behaving as I would say normally, but is this normal?
Stupid question, but you can see the artifact on the map, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
I will, again, as sort of a sense of duty, will start to make move slowly towards it.
Okay.
A very cautious and slow pace. Also as sort of like a manner to lead others. Whether or not that happens.
Sakura will also very tentatively, very carefully just make her way down and through. Just edge slightly closer.
I mean, I've got a bad feeling about this.
I heard some dreadful sounds when it went down the hole over there. I dread to think what these things are doing on ravaging the land or ravaging the creatures or...
You lot worry too much. I tell you, it wasn't as bad as the locust swarm of yesteryear. I tell you, that destroyed the whole crops. This is nowhere near as bad. I tell you.
You say that, and I know that the locust swarm. You keep on about that locust swarm, but that didn't hurt you. That just hurt the crops. I could feel your pain. We have a connection, and I had to put some serious, effort into keeping you alive there.
I've had worse. Don't worry about me.
Yes,
I don't need nothing.
I've heard about the battle cream incident. You don't have to go over that again. But
We don't bring that up in front of other people, right?
okay, right, yeah. I'm just saying that it's not often that you actually come across something that could probably harm you. Like,
Oh, I suppose.
being clumsy is one thing, and having a slight accident with some farm equipment, yes, that can be problematic. But we don't know what's going on here. And I did not like what was happening with. They're emanating. Did anyone else feel that? Like some decay. It just hurt my inside. I don't know how it was doing it, but I definitely felt a presence.
Like something was reaching into your soul.
Like something was
pulling-
septic in a way.
Was pulling your life force, life energy out of you. necrotic, almost death within you. It was horrid.
I've had some bad experiences with that, and I don't want to experience that sort of stuff again. I only just survived it the first time, and it's not something that I think I could do again. I don't know if it's the same.
Now you mention it, it did feel a lot like he was trying to reach into my brain and steal the secret formula to our best traditional pasty. I tell you, what it felt like.
You know, so similar to the pale ale that you drink in the
Of course.
I don't think that secret might not be as closely kept as you think. At least in this area, it's
No.
I guess on that, does Zachariah recognize that feeling from prior experience?
I would say you've been around this type of magic, but not the way it was used.
Okay. Sure. So yeah. So it'll still be very. He'll have like association with that sort of stuff, and it not be a pleasant experience for.
No, it's definitely not a pleasant type of magic.
Yeah.
Could I perform like a history check, or to see if there's any like inscriptions or writing or symbols on the outside of this?
Of course, I'll let you do
Artifact.
religion or history. It's up to you.
Okay, I'll do history. Yes, 20. It was just about the roll on 5, and I was like, no, I don't want that.
Is that
20.
natural 20 or a dirty 20?
It's a dirty 20. It's a 15
Dirty
plus
20.
5.
Dirty boy, dirty 20. Okay, cool. With a 20, yeah, you notice there are symbols, glyphs, not words, like nothing that seems to be like a discernible language that you know, but there are inscriptions and glyphs, and it's just almost incomprehensible. But you do recognize the styling, and it is similar to a type of rock formation that is eminent in one of the nearby mountainsides, no more than maybe 3 days walk. There is almost like a druidic circle that is on top of a mountainside, that you've seen these symbols or the likeness of these symbols before. And it's probably towards the northeast. Throughout 3 days walk, you remember almost like a Stonehenge type place, a place of like religious significance of a time long ago, and you know that these symbols have the same likeness to them there.
Okay.
You notice how the glow of this this object, where there's like the small hole in the top, and it's quite jagged at the top. Like, it's not like a perfect circle, like a little lid. It's like these jagged, almost serrated teeth type things. Like, it's quite a big object, and the hole is quite big, but it's very aggressive looking. It's almost like it is a containment vessel for something. And the jagged teeth is more like the exit. And it's to allow things to come out and not allow things to go in. Prying hands to go in, if you know what I mean. Due to their, like, sort of gaseous makeup, they would have no issues passing by the serrated edges. But any organic or things that were to reach in might have issues with the... It's a deterrent, basically.
Yeah.
I'd like to turn to the party and just kind of explain what I've noticed from my previous knowledge and my studies. So, Zachariah, Bree, I I think I recognize some of these symbols on the side of this artifact. I recognize some of. They almost look like druid circles or some places of worship, and I recognize them. It almost looks like the mountains.
Oh,
The
I know
mountains
the
that-
Druids.
Yeah, just north.
No,
of-
as in to the DM.
Sorry, yes?
Do I know the Druids? Do I know the Druids? That occur?
It's not like you know of a cult or of a religious practice that is like tied to it. You just know that this is more of a landmark associated with druidic worship of a time long ago. It's not like something that's regularly practiced. It is more of like you're visiting a historic monument, and there are carvings and symbols that represent whatever that historic monument used to be.
I think I know what you're talking about, but that hasn't been practiced really. It's just folklore effectively at this point.
What
Why?
could it be? Something more?
You two know that fancy talk then? I don't know nothing about that. I cannot read for nothing. I do know what's going on,
Yeah,
I'll be
don't
honest.
mind you read it. At least you can read it.
Well, I suppose. Hang on, I just remembered what happened to delivering my pasties, right? I've got Mrs. Higgins knocking on my door daily, right?
Free.
Right?
The pasties.
Right.
The pasties will still be there.
They'll be off.
You never know. These
They'll be off.
entities might have a liking for pasties, and they may have raided
That's
the
actually why they turn
entire.
up.
Yeah,
No,
pasty
those
hunt,
are
pasty
pasties.
hunting.
So what are we waiting for? Are we taking a closer look or not?
Well, personally, I think that we should just, set it on fire or something. Well, this is sorry. I should take a diplomatic approach to this.
No. Right, listen here. If those buggers are gonna eat my pasties, I'm gonna give them what for? And Bree goes over. Bree goes over and he goes to touch whatever it is.
You're just gonna touch the artifact, yeah?
Yeah,
Go
he's
knock
gonna-
on it. Go knock
He's
on
gonna
it.
he's gonna knock on it and give it what for?
Okay.
Hello,
Okay.
you in there?
As you go to touch the artifact, you feel cold. Almost like it's weird. Like the temperature 5 feet back was completely normal, like evening sun temperature, and as soon as you get within touching distance of this thing, it is ice cold, and it almost like and as I say, you push through it. And almost not clocking it, like like when you first burn yourself, it takes yourself a little bit of time to realize you've done an oopsie and you shouldn't have touched that. This is exactly what happens. You go and you touch the artifact, and it like sends this cold energy down your like whole hand. Not enough to cause you any damage, but you immediately recoil, and then you kind of like regret your whole life choices from doing that.
You're like, God, they've even got a refrigeration unit to steal my pasties. God,
They've been planning this for a long time. They're taking it back to their spaceship. They are.
I tell you what, this whole thing is a cult, right? That's here to steal my pasties. Traditional, well known.
And they're gonna sell it on in 2 weeks' time, past their sell-by date, because they think that they can refrigerate it. But what they don't know is that actually it
What
goes
they
off.
don't know. These scousers trying to sell my pasties on for a higher price. Bugger off.
But they,
Could I-
they do not travel well, these things, and they're gonna regret those sort of choices in the future. Because it's all that I'm saying, and also that I don't like, them stealing my pasties.
Could I just firebolt it and just like try?
Yeah,
and
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was just like,
just burn the crap out of it. Kill
Sure,
it with fire.
Sure. You don't need to roll for it. Just roll for damage on the outer shell of this thing. See what happens.
Okay. 5.
5. So you fire the firebolt and it like whizzes past Bree's head, and like as he's like mid monologue complaining about his pasty empire, and it like slams into the side of this thing, and you watch as these streaks and cracks appear down the outer shell, and like the almost bronzy brown texture of the metallic surface takes on this orange glow where it's like absorbing a lot of the heat, but it looks visibly cracked at this point.
I agree with you, Zachariah. As you can see, I think we should just destroy it, get rid of it,
Well-
as quickly as we can.
Well, I suppose.
I'm glad,
Okay.
glad to see that you've moved on past the pasties, Bree. But
Zachariah, your true sight is picking up much more erratic behavior from the inside of this device as he cast and did damage to the outer shell.
do I see it like expanding in any way or anything?
It's you almost feel a sense of panic coming from it.
Okay. Look. I sort of turned to Sakura, and has a Sakurai's having an internal conflict because he himself wants to destroy this thing because it hurt his friend and do all that stuff, but also feels like the way that he should go is a bit more diplomatic. So be like, look, Sakura, I can feel what's going on in there, and it's panicking. I don't know if that's good or bad. Obviously, he just attacked us out of nowhere, and I'm quite worried as to what it could do in the future. But I'm worried. What happens if we release it? Like, you're damaging the outside. I don't think it's being hurt on the inside. It's just...
Everybody roll an intelligence check for me. Straight intelligence. This is not a group tactic. I'm just trying to see which one of you knows.
22.
22.
Oh.
Okay, Sakura.
Can we add a d4 to that? Because we're close together.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Plus
did
2.
anyone beat Sakura's roll?
I got 23.
Okay,
16.
fine. No worries. Okay, so Sakura. Your home city, in the center of this world, the most affluent, bustling metropolis of this world, has many things. And arcane practice and arcane study is one of them. It's not uncommon for the people of your metropolis to hold mythical creatures in cells of various types, to study them, to learn from them, to extract knowledge from them. And part of you thinks maybe you could take this thing either in its current containment or possibly lure it, if you wanted to lure something all the way to the... like, you're weighing up the options, and some of them sound stupid, but some of them make sense. There are very, very smart people that probably have the ability to contain and study this, if you were to get this whole thing back to where you and Osiris grew up. Don't know whether you want to share that. Bree, you think maybe that this thing might be able to create a new type of pasty flavor if you're able to ascertain where it's come from. And you think like an necrotic pasty might be really popular with the gnolls to the south.
I like the roll of 23 got 3 pasty flavors. I dread to think what a roll of 16 gave me.
An intelligence check is a check on your own ability to decipher the immediate surroundings around you, and Bree is 100% fixated on expanding his pasty empire. So,
Do you know what?
I
Right?
think that this could be marketed as like a new fart flavor.
New
You know?
fart flavored pasties. It'll get
You know,
those
it's
Alfians
all-
going like crazy.
Sorry. There are some weird people out there, and there are some people who really like that sort of stuff out there. And I think that these could be marketed as such.
You know, I'm not one to judge, but I am one to sell pasties. And if they want fart flavored pasties, I will deliver.
So Sakura, if you want to tell everyone about, about Ostavar and about, the resources that you have available there, you can do that, or you can keep it to yourself.
I will share this with the group because I think this would be quite pertinent to explore as an option. So, as I ponder and think about this container, what we've just seen, I suddenly remember that there is magical archives, there's the magic library, there are places within Ostavar that could extract, use, contain, study this thing. And yeah, I divulge this information to the group and offer it as an option to where we go next.
Okay, so you've got
That's
two decent chunks of information here about this thing. One from Zachariah and one from Sakura.
Yeah. See, that's what I was, thinking is that perhaps we don't want to destroy this, or at least destroy the container of it. What happens if that's just releasing more of what this is into the world? The thing is, it seemed to pass quite easily in and out of this thing. I don't know how we're going to be able to move it. Can you you talk about these magics that you're sort of gifted with? Do you know anything, or does your friend over there?
Bree, listening to this conversation, you are familiar with the ways of transporting heavy goods. You've sent multiple shipments to and from various regions. You've done some long haul deliveries. You've done more short haul deliveries to the local town of, where you have grown up. You have the means to transport something like this at your premises,
Right.
or
Right.
you could seek help from the main town and see if the local, authoritarians from that department might want to investigate it. You seem to be the first people that have stumbled upon this. You do know, however, and the whole group knows this, is that there was hundreds of these things that came out, and you only fought off 3 of them, and the rest scattered across the surrounding areas in all different directions. So you know that there may be a time limit on what you need to do here, because this is not over. And you do remember, this was one of 6 or 7 that streaked past the sky. Whether they were the same thing or not, you don't know. You just know that there were more of those loud explosions coming from the sky as these things streaked across the skyline and interrupted your pleasant summer evening.
Right. Listen here. I have a cart called Betsy, and I use it for. Why have I turned Australian?
Oh, use it, fella.
Good day.
I often,
Good eye, mate.
I have this
down
cart
here we don't have those
Don't have those-
Barbies.
that has Barbies with pasties. I have this
Oh,
cart called Betsy. She's the family cart for delivering our pasties. We could lead it on to Betsy and take it to where it needs to go.
Sakura, you respond and say that a journey to Ostavar by cart with no kind of like horses or anything to pull or anything like that would probably take a long time. But you think it's a good idea, Sakura.
To note, I think Tens has disappeared.
No, it's all good. Don't worry about it. We're approaching the end of the session anyway.
Okay. Because I would also then message. Oh,
Sure.
hello?
So Sakura, do you relay that like the journey by cart would be quite a long time?
Yes. So I speak to the group and say, I appreciate the thought, Bree. But a cart journey with no creature to pull would take days, even weeks. And we have no way of making sure that this creature remains contained.
Look, Sakura, look, I completely understand like the situation that we're in here, and I agree that this could be quite difficult. I would say that perhaps it might just be better to get out of this village to start off with, and then we might be able to find a better form of transport or something to contain it or something like that. But at the moment, I think that we don't want to, scare the locals as it would be. And as it happens, I was just about to try and talk to Bree's family about, leaving here. This could be quite a good opportunity, and we don't want to, rock the boat as it would. I think any help that we can get at the moment would be pretty useful. And this isn't a heavy industry town. There's nothing, there's no large beasts of burden that could travel miles or any teleporting circles or anything like that. I think, around here, this might be the best that we can get. We could potentially get
It's a very largely agricultural town. There are large creatures that can pull carts,
Yeah.
Like shire horses, oxen, that kind of stuff. But they would be in the main town. You kind of like, as a group, you quickly ascertain. At this point, your options are to leave the device here, or the artifact here, and go explore the druidic circle that you picked up on. Take the thing with you to Ostavar, which will be a long journey, but reasonable if you were able to ascertain help. You know that the town nearby has a form of, what's the term, like, there are people that are in higher station there, that have contacts, but then that would mean disclosing your discovery to them, so you have various options to choose here.
Sakura would be like, I don't particularly think that we should leave this here. It's caused enough damage as it would do. Did you see what it did to those poor gophers over there?
Right, listen here, Sakura. Right, I tell you, Betsy is fine. Right, I will pull her. I will pull all of you. Right, these legs. Right, these legs won the local village egg and spoon race. Right, these legs are good legs. It'll be fine. I tell you, we can go to the village. We can even get help.
Look, Sakura, yes. Whether or not, let's just take this journey a step at a time, and I don't think that the immediate goal will be to get back to your city. I think if we can get the cart, get this out of here to somewhere that could help us a bit more, then that might ease up the journey. Just, it's the first leg of a journey that's, it's the first step. We can work it out as it goes along. I just don't want to leave this here. You've seen the damage that these things are causing, and it's, I don't know if you can you sense how erratic it is in there, and how much chaos that could be. Maybe it's just distraught. Maybe it wants to do something. I can't tell, but I don't want to take that risk around here. I'm sorry, but this is not something that I want to just leave in somewhere that's defenseless.
Okay. Osiris, what is your position on this? What do you think? Should we go to the local town and ask for help to move this and then head back down to Ostavar?
I think we should just wait here while Bree goes back down to get his car.
Right, do you know what? I can do that for you. I can go and get my cart, and I'll bring her back here in lickety-split time. Because I won the egg and spoon race of the village.
Okay.
I mean, there's no harm in taking this thing with us.
As Bree disappears off, with the slow hum of this artifact still buzzing away, the static electricity still keeping your fur on end, Bree disappears off behind the tree line, seemingly pretty nonchalant and happy with today's goings, you know? You guys, although a little bit battered and bruised, have come out from this first encounter relatively unscathed. And we'll pick up on this next session and see what you guys choose to do.
Before Bree leaves, I was like, oh, and Bree, could you bring back one of your, or 3 of your special pasties? I've always enjoyed them. We could
Nice.
after this fact.
That's an after credit scene. Awesome. Alright.
Could you bring back some shawarma or something?
Shawarma.
A little bit of dipping sauce as well.
Thank you guys so much for watching the first episode of Fuzz Tales. I hope you had as much fun as we did. There were some crazy decisions, crazy actions, crazy role-playing. And I, for one, cannot wait to see what our band of intrepid adventurers get up to. It's going to be crazy. This is the first step in a wider world for them. See you guys next time. Say goodbye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you for
Have
watching.
fun.
Take a pasty with you.